This is the NFL on EA Sports, and we are in the Pacific Northwest at CenturyLink Field in Seattle, Washington. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Black lady!
You must be dreaming.
Friday! 14.
On first down, Wilson. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on second and 10. Wilson to throw again. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Like 20.
54. Hey, watch the ball, watch the ball.
After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown from 21 yards away. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
Well, that's how you take advantage of an early turnover. A sudden change situation, meaning ball's turned over. How's both sides going to handle it? One side handled it way better. They went right out on the field and put the ball in the end zone.
One play, that just added insult to injury.
Yeah, that just tells you on the defensive side, they didn't come out ready to go, still reeling from the fact that the ball got turned over.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and it's now a 7-0 game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start first and 10. And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, You enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Mike 50, Mike 50.
Bound to lose one. Check 52. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Kill.
On third down, it's Carson, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down.
It's fourth down.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on fourth and a yard.
I'll go special. I'll go special.
98. Watch 98. 98.
You ain't good.
Trying to collect. Watch 98. Watch 98.
You ain't good.
They run for it with Carson, and he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. So he needed one. He ended up getting 3.
And I really like the way he ran that one, too. That's really intelligent running, because oftentimes a running back could get too greedy. Try and hit the home run on a play where you just need a few yards. Well done there, making sure you got the first down and not worrying about trying to get a touchdown.
The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Take you to school.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Flushed out right. Now he'll pull it down. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
A couple of first downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10.
Alert.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Seventh play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6.
Zebra.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. That's caught by Hollister. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 34-yard line. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 34.
12.
Watch 98. Watch 98. 98.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. To it, for Notre Dame man. In there to get him. It's a loss of 5. So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Steelers 7, Seahawks nothing.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15.
Watch tight. Tight is right. Watch tight. Tight is right. Hey. Hey, we are.
Ankle.
Four down. 198.
Now Wilson operating from the gun. On the move to his left. Oh, and now some space to operate. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
I got him.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. This complete to Lockett. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now a give, right side. Carson. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. Flush to his right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Double tight.
Now Roethlisberger under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Michael Kendricks coming in to drop him.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34, and he'll bring this one back to the 29. They were looking for Johnson that time.
Well, it's 3rd down. You're in a tight game in the loudest stadium in the NFL, and it's enough to rattle even the most seasoned of quarterbacks. And here, it looks like he's not quite on the same page as his receiver. This will wind up a turnover.
Line 90.
98 for Mike. Hey, watch the slant.
After the interception, here's Wilson. They'll roll him out right. He's going to take off with it. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
17 yards. And that's good for the Seahawks. First and 10 at the 11-yard
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. Fans, a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime previews. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando when this one reaches halftime. Did I do okay?
You did great. Not a bad job.
Hey.
But,
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Josh Gordon there to make the grab. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Jason Myers now for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that...
Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brad McDougal. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're starting to put some space here. You know, first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Ryan Shazier got in that time, the first-round pick of 2014. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now it's Wilson. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Cam Hayward, always a force, got back there for the sack.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And they'll indeed stop him on third down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's fourth down.
It's fourth down.
And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with fourth down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. On fourth down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Back deep for the Steelers, Ryan Switzer. That's taken on the 25. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Here's Roethlisberger. Escaping the pressure right. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. That went into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
It's a gain of 25.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
On 1st and 10 is Counter. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
They stay on the ground. Here's Counter again. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
And it brings up 3rd down.
Start! 230.
Bring it! Bring it!
Shotgun!
They'll try and run for it with Counter. And he's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st.
Brings up 4th down.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2.
It's just me and you. It's just
Easy.
me and you. Check.
They're going on 4th down. It's Roethlisberger. Open man, it's Madden. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
First down, Pittsburgh.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Strong right.
On 1st down, it's Samuels. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3.
That's right, baby. They don't want it.
Well, now they'll try the end around. I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. That'll go as a loss of 9, and it leads to 3rd down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They come out here in the eye. They'll run here with Connor. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. Again, it'll be counter. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear them now. 3rd and goal. They'll try to surge ahead with Connor. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 4th down now after a loss of 2. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak, not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
And Boswell's kick is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. So with less than a minute gone by here in this 4th quarter, the field goal there gets this thing back to even.
And it's setting up for a fantastic finish, isn't it, partner? It's been a well-played game, a hard-hitting game. The fans are into it. The announcers are into it. This is going to be a great 4th quarter.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Watch the screen.
Now a give, right side. Carson, and he's going to get this one down to the 45. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Here we go.
They run again with Carson. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
65. Whip. Watch the whip.
Now it's Carson. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
He'll let this go for the end zone call. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett. 40 yards as his guys have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock and I'm thinking there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
They get one more as the extra point's up and good, and that makes it a 17-10 score. After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Back to throw. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
I think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff to Samuels. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Here's Roethlisberger. He'll get this one to Switzer. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter.
Chris Boswell set to kick off.
17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward. Okay.
And this is going to be intercepted. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick.
Intercepted by the Steelers. They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They, of course, tie game, would like to avoid overtime if they could.
And a lot of people would go ahead and play it safe here and get to overtime and try and win it there. But, you know, sitting up here in the booth,
Take some gambles.
I say let's go for this thing, try and push it, and maybe catch the defense back on their heels a bit.
See if they do that. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Roethlisberger to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is going to be intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And what an effort on the final play of regulation. All zeros on the clock, and we are headed to OT. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Roethlisberger, open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
And it's third down.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on third down.
Just like that.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And all the way down to the 35. A huge play there in overtime. 48 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. First down run for Connor, not going to get much. Maybe a yard. Second down. Give him maybe a yard. Quite the opposite from the previous big gainer. Here's second and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Roethlisberger. And that's incomplete. The intended receiver out of the backfield was Jalen Samuels. And now it's third down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Coming up on a third and 9. Opening drive of overtime as they look to convert. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is third down. Now it's Roethlisberger. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's second and 13. Now it's Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. On third down, here's Samuels. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. And I know you with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. A gain of 7 that time, 2nd and goal.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time.
And he is in for the score! And it's absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. A partner game, you got to see it making an extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing count.
I just want you to pay for my meal.
You really just wanted 4 quarters. What you wanted. How much fun is that? We had that type of game. We got us to overtime, and then we can add in and finish things off as well. What a game.
So